Number 11 says, which of the following figures does not represent a function? When you look at number 11, let's start with answer choice A. The idea behind a function is that every input has exactly one unique output, which means your input, like your x's, are only assigned a single value of y. The way I used to look at it with my students is I think of it in terms of a party. Every X can only go to one party at a time. It can't be in two parties at the same time. It can't be in two places at once. So if you ask yourself how many parties is X trying to go to, and your answer is always 1, 1, 1, then you're okay. It's a function. But if X is trying to go to more than one party at a time, it can't be in two places at once. Therefore, it would not be a function. Let's look at answer choice A. One of the neat things that we learned about graphs is something called the vertical line test. A vertical line means that you can draw a vertical line and it would only go through a single point at a time. So there it only went through the point once. Here it would only go through the point once. Here it would only go through the point once. Here it would only go through the point once. That passes the vertical line test, so that is a function. Just real quickly, let me show you something that doesn't pass the vertical line test. If I had something like this, notice when I draw the line, this passes through more than one point at a time. Therefore, that's not going to be a function. All right, let's look at B. In B, it says that we've got what we call like a map diagram. And so your input here, like your x's, you just want to say how many parties is 3 trying to go to? Well, it's just trying to go to 2's party. That's possible. How many parties is 4 trying to go to? It's just trying to go to 2's party. That's okay. How many parties is 5 trying to go to? Well, it's just trying to go to 1 party, 2. It's okay. So every one of these inputs is going to exactly one unique output, which means that this is a function. Let's look at C. In C, let's go ahead and look at every X. How many parties is 6 trying to go to? Well, if we scan our X's, there are no other 6's. That's okay. It's going to 1 party. How many other parties is 2 trying to go to? Scan our numbers and we have a problem. If you look right here, 2 is trying to go to 2 different parties. It's trying to go to 5's party and 6's party at the exact same time. That's impossible. And so that right there makes this not a function. If we look at it in terms of a graph and we graph these points, basically when you had the number 2, you'd have a 5 and you'd have a 6, and that would show you wouldn't pass the vertical line test. So this is not a function. But just to confirm our answer, because it's always good to read all answer choices, here we have the function y equals 2x, which basically means you have a y-intercept of 0, 0, and then you are going to rise to run 1. And so it's just basically going to be a line. So if I drew that vertical line, will it only intersect that line at one place at a time? And the answer is yes. So that is a function. So it confirms the fact that this input has tried to go to 2 different parties. In other words, this input has more than one output, which is not allowed for a function. If it's a function, every input has to have exactly one output. It cannot have different types of outputs. That makes it not a function.